So for alternate nostril breathing, what you're going to do is you're basically going to take your right hand and take your thumb and you're going to close over your right nostril, place your second finger and middle finger at your forehead between the eyes on the third eye, and then your ring finger is going to close your left nostril. So I'm going to show you first what it looks like, and then I'll get you to follow. So for one round, I close my right nostril, I breathe in through my left nostril, I'm going to close that left nostril and then open the right nostril, exhale out through that one. Then I'll inhale through the right, I'll close the right, open the left and exhale out. Now before we start, you might want to grab a tissue and just blow your nose in case it's feeling a little blocked. And I'm also going to allow you to just check how your nostrils are feeling, because often you can tell a little bit about the body. Like if the left is a little bit more clear, it's saying that you're a bit more open and creative and a bit more relaxed. So just hold off the right and just breathe in through the left, only the left a couple of times. Exhale out through the left. Inhale in through the left. Close off the left, exhale out through the right. And just staying on the right, so inhale in through the right nostril. Exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Close off the right, exhale out through the left. And just relax your head. And just notice which nostril felt clearer. They might both feel even, they might both feel blocked. There's no right or wrong in this, it's just a little bit of information about where you're at. So as I said, grab tissue if you need to unblock your nose. Make sure you're comfortable. You might want to sit on a block or a small pillow, just so that you're comfortable. We'll be sitting here for maybe just a few minutes. And lastly, if your nose is really blocked and you can't breathe in or out, just breathe in through your mouth and just take this time to just meditate, just sit quietly. So obviously, if there's any restrictions, don't force yourself to do something that your body's not going to do. So everyone, we're going to begin. So I'm actually going to use my left hand as my counting hand. So as I breathe in, I'm going to be counting through my fingers. Okay, so we're going to place our right thumb on our right nostril. Bring the second finger and the middle finger to the space between the eyes, the third eye, and then the ring finger onto the left nostril. So keep the ring finger up, breathe in through the left. Close that left nostril, open up the right, and then exhale out through the right nostril. Inhale in through the right. Close, open the left, exhale out through the left. Inhale in through the left. Close, open the right, exhale out through the right. Inhale in through the right. Close the right, open the left, exhale out. Inhale in through the left. Close the nostril, open the right, exhale out. Inhale in through the right. Close the right, open the left, exhale out. Inhale in through the left. Close the left, open the right, exhale out. Inhale. Close, open the left, exhale. Inhale. Close, open the right, exhale. Inhale. Close, open the left, exhale. Inhale. Close, open, exhale. Inhale. Close, open, exhale. Let's bring your hands down to the lap. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. Just notice how you feel. Notice if perhaps there's a little less tension in the body. The jaw feels a little more relaxed. See if you can relax your forehead. And becoming aware of your breath in your body. Notice if you can feel your ribs moving when you breathe. Notice if you become aware of the back of the body when you breathe. Notice if the belly begins to pop up when you breathe. I invite you to place your hands on the sides of your ribs and the base of the belly. As you inhale, I want you to breathe in, down, and fill out the sides of the ribs. And then the belly will puff out. And then as you exhale, the belly will draw back towards the spine. So you inhale, expanding through the side and the back of the ribs. Drawing the belly, the breath down, and the belly will puff out. And then as we exhale, the belly draws back towards the spine. Breathing in, expanding the side and back of the ribs, the belly will puff out. As you exhale, draw the belly towards the spine. So I'm going to start a counting breath pattern. If my count is too fast or too slow, feel free to maintain your own even rhythm. So the intention is to deepen and slow down. So you're welcome to place a hand on your rib just to feel what's going on. Place your hand on your belly, or if you just want to rest with your hand in your lap, it's completely up to you. So we begin. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, 2. Inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, 2. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3. In, 2, 3, 4, out. 2, 3, 4. In and out. In and out. You can rest your hands in your lap, just keeping your eyes closed for a moment. Just notice if you feel a little more ease, a little more centered, a little more grounded. Opening your eyes, we're going to rock onto our backs. So just make sure that there's nothing behind you, and also make sure to grab a strap or a scarf, or in my case, a dressing gown belt, because that's what I have handy today. So if it feels good for you, rocking back on your body, massaging the spine until you come to rest on your back. And when you're there, drawing your knees in towards your chest. Inhale. As you exhale, drawing the knees down. Inhale to release. Exhale, squeeze the knees down towards the chest. One more, inhale. Exhale. Keep your hands on your knees, bring your big toes to touch, and circle your knees out and away from you as if you're swimming like a frog. But just gently waking up the hips. Noticing how they feel, and then circling in the opposite direction. Draw the knees in. Release the left leg to the ground. Take the strap in your right hand. Either keep your left leg extended and draw the toes towards you, so activating the leg, or bend that knee, place the foot flat on the ground. Take the strap, hook it over the right foot, so the ball of the foot. And you want to make sure your strap is long enough so that your elbows aren't off the ground, so your elbows are relaxed on the ground and your shoulders are relaxed on the ground. You can have a bend in this top leg and extend your right heel towards the sky. Feeling that stretch through the back of the hamstring, the back of the calves. Extend the foot a little higher, extending your heel towards the ceiling. And then begin to point and flex. Inhale to point, exhale to draw back. So notice how your foot feels as you're slowly waking up the body. See if you can roll through the toes, so moving one toe at a time. And slowly circling in one direction. Making sure to move just the ankle and not the whole leg, so we're isolating the movement at your ankle and then circling in the other direction. Now take both straps into your left hand, extend your right arm along the ground and allow the right leg to twist across the body. You might need to bend your knee if you've got obstacles like I have, or you can extend that leg if it feels good for you. Either look towards the ceiling or look back towards your right hand, whatever feels good for your neck. Inhale to extend, exhale to twist. And draw that leg up to center and switching over legs. So place your left foot into the strap and either extend your right leg, draw your toes towards you to activate that leg, or bend the knee and place the foot flat on the ground. Make sure your elbows are on the ground and they're not up in the air. Extend your left heel towards the ceiling, feeling that stretch along the back of the leg. Then beginning to point and flex. Inhale to point, exhale to draw back. See if you can do that rolling motion through the foot, so you're moving the toes individually. Just visualize it if they don't want to work with you this morning. Visualization is such a powerful tool. And then slowly circling in one direction and circling the other way. Take both straps into your right hand, extend your left arm along the ground, and then allow the leg to twist across the body. Either look towards the ceiling or look back towards your hand. Inhale to extend, exhale to twist. Take that leg up to center and then release the strap. Draw both knees in towards the center and then slowly circling them both to massage the lower back. And circling in the other way. Getting ready for our core work. So what I want you to do is you're going to either, depending on how you feel, extend your legs straight towards the sky, 90 degrees, or bend your knees and bring your feet into a 90 degree, more of a tabletop position. You're going to peel your head and neck off the floor and look towards your belly. Extend your arms forward, the palms facing each other. If there's any tension in the neck, place your hands behind the hip. So from here, inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. As you exhale, draw your belly towards the spine. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. Exhale, belly towards the spine. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. This time as you exhale, imagine you're drawing up your pelvic floor. So you're almost like you're drawing water up through the center of you. The girls will know what I mean. And then draw the belly towards the spine. So it's a deeper inhale, deeper squeeze. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. Exhale, draw up your pelvic floor. Draw the belly towards the spine. Really almost visualize drawing up through the body. Inhale, expand the side and back of the ribs. Exhale, draw through pelvic floor. Draw the belly towards the spine. Relax the head on the ground. Place your hands on your knees. You're going to rock up and down the body. If it feels comfortable for you, coming over into a cat-cow, so 4-point position. So you want your wrists beneath your shoulders and your knees beneath your hips. If you have any pain in your wrists or any tension in your shoulders, you can bring your hands a little bit further out, and it just takes that little bit of tension off your wrist. So remember, always listen to your body. If something doesn't feel good, pull back or rest. You can always rest in child's pose, which I'm going to show you in a few moments. So from here, we're just going to come into some cat-cows. So just waking up the spine gently. So inhale, we draw the shoulder blades down the back of the body. We begin to look up. And as we exhale, we push away from the ground and curl the back. So we begin to curl the spine towards the sky, look towards the belly. So inhale, the shoulder blades draw down, the chest draws down towards the ground. We begin to look up. And exhale, the tailbone curls under. We look towards the belly, we arch our back towards the sky like we're a cat. Couple more. Inhale. Exhale. A couple more in your own time using your breath as your guide. And then moving in any direction that feels good. So you might want to come back over your heels, you might want to go to the sides. Whatever feels good for you, whatever your body needs in this moment. You might not have been moving for quite some time. It's been a long time between live classes. So just whatever your body wants. And then when you're ready, coming into the center and hold. So we're going to come into a thread the needle, which is a really nice shoulder opening pose. So bring your weight into your left hand, raise your right arm up, look, and then bring your right ear and right shoulder down towards the ground, and push your left hand into the earth, raise that right arm up, and then bring the right ear and right shoulder down. One more time, push your left hand into the earth, raise that right arm up, and this time you're going to rest. So rest your right ear and right shoulder down. Now you might want to stay here. You can bring your right hand on top. This might be as far as you want to go. If you want to go further, you can bring your hands to prayer position in the center of the chest, and we're beginning to rotate the shoulder towards the ceiling, so the top shoulder towards the ceiling. If you want to go further, you can open that top arm up towards the sky, or you can even half bind, so you're reaching behind for the top of the thigh. You'll feel it. Just opening up that shoulder. Wherever you are, coming into your body, becoming aware of your breath. And then, wherever you are, uncurling your arm, bringing it back down towards the hand, so your hands are now in prayer position in front of you. Bring your left hand in front of your face, push your hand into the earth, open up the right shoulder, and then bring that down. We're going to go on the other side, and I'm going to turn around because you won't be able to see me. Some moves are easy to explain on live, but this one is really confusing for me. That's why I have to turn around. Things you learn when you're teaching live. Okay, So we're going to go on the opposite side. So push your right arm into the earth, open the left arm up, and bring the left elbow and left ear down towards the ground. Push the right hand into the earth, open that left arm up, look up, and then bring the left ear towards the ground. One more, open up, and then this time releasing the left ear and the left shoulder down. And either staying here or bringing your right hand on top of your left, staying here, or bringing the hands towards the center of the chest into prayer position, beginning to open up the top shoulder. If you want, you can open up that top hand, and then you can even half bind, so reaching for the top part of the thigh behind you. Wherever you are, breathing in the pose. And then wherever you are, uncurling your hand, bring it back down to the other hand, so your hands are now in prayer position in front of you. Bring your right hand, place it in front of your head, push your hand into the earth, open that left arm up, and then bring that left hand down. Then sitting back in child. So bring your knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch, and sit back on your heels, extending the arms forward. If that's too strong on your shoulders, you can bring one fist on top of another fist and rest your head down. So just breathing into any tight parts. Bringing your hands out in front. You're going to walk your hands over towards your right hand side. Make sure you keep your left hip down, feeling that gentle stretch. And then walking the hand through the middle over to the left side. And keep your right hip down. Feeling that stretch. Bring your hands back through to the center and hold. Breathing in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Lower your toes at the back. Bring your weight onto your hands. Raise your tailbone towards the sky, coming into a downward dog. And once you're there, beginning to pedal out the feet. Pushing your hands firmly to the earth, rotating the shoulders away from each other. So the shoulder blades go down the back of the body, slight bend in the knees, raise the tailbone towards the sky. Come down on your knees for a moment. So we're going to go into Convoluted Dog, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So this is a nice rolling motion. It helps us to come into relationship with the earth and to also understand how poses can link together. So kind of using the breath to help guide your body. So I'll show you what it looks like first. So from downward dog, I bend the knees, I come forward into plank, and then I push back. The tailbone goes up towards the sky. So I bend the knees, come forward into plank, push my tailbone out towards the sky. I bend, I come forward and push back. So I'll invite you to join me. So everyone coming up into downward dog. So from here, bend your knees, bring your weight forward over the hands into plank. Then push your tailbone up towards the sky. Bend the knees, bring the weight only as far forward as comfortable for you. Make sure you don't bend your elbows, and then push your tailbone up towards the sky. Bend the knees, come forward, push the tailbone up. One more, bend, come forward, push up. Holding downward dog, we're going to go in the opposite direction. So inhale, come up on the toes, bring the weight forward, bend the knees, push back. Up on the toes, bring the weight forward into plank, bend your knees, push your tailbone up towards the sky. Up on the toes, bring the weight forward to plank. Bend your knees, push back. And walk your hands back towards your feet, and then forward fold. Keep your knees bent. Clasp your elbows. Gently shake your head for no. Gently nod your head for yes. Very, very tiny movements here. And clasp the opposite elbow. Feel that stretch along the back of the body. Coming into a half lift. Look up. Shoulder blades come back. We're creating extension through the spine. And then exhale, fold. So again, look up, straighten the legs. Extension through the spine, so long through the back. And then exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold. This time, keep your knees bent. Push your feet into the earth. And then roll it up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Almost like your Lego blocks stacking on top of each other. Make sure you've got no plants in your way. Bring your arms up. I'm going to have to move sideways for this. And then exhale. Bring the hands to the heart. Then fold forward. Walk your hands out. Coming into plank. Lower the knees. Now you have an option here to either go into Sphinx. I'll show you Sphinx first. So Sphinx is where we come all the way down to the ground. And then bring your elbows just in front of your shoulders. Push your forearms into the earth and lift your chest. And then bring your head back down, bring your hands beneath your shoulders, curl your toes, push back into downward dog. Then walk your hands back and fold. Inhale, half lift, look up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold. Push your feet into the earth, keep the knees bent, roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Bring your arms out. Then exhale, melt down through the center of the body. Walk your hands out into plank. Wrists beneath the shoulders. Pull the belly towards the spine, push out the heels. If this is too strong for you, come down on your knees. Your second variation from here is upward dog. So from here, we want to make sure that we bring our elbows just as far as our ribs. So everyone follow me. You're going to raise your toes. Elbows are going to brush the ribs and push into the earth to push up into upward dog. So tops of the feet push away from the earth. Roll the shoulders away from each other. And then push back, downward dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. And then fold. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Push your feet into the earth, roll up through the body, one vertebra at a time. Head is the last to lift. And then the arms rise. Look towards the hands. Exhale, melt down towards the earth. Walk the hands out. Coming into plank. Or onto your knees if that's too strong for you. Either going down to Sphinx, down all the way to the ground, or following me with upward dog. So for upward dog, raise the toes. Elbows are going to brush the ribs. Inhale into upward dog. Exhale back, downward dog. Breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Gently closing your eyes. Allowing yourself to catch your breath. So just becoming aware of the ground beneath you. Aware of your breath. Aware of your heart rate. Putting your heart heart rate slow down a little. Then coming towards the top of the mat, feet hip width apart, hands to the heart. Coming into Surya Namaskara A, Sun Salutation A. So inhale, arms rise out to the sides, look towards the hand, exhale, melt down through the center of the body. Inhale, half lift, look up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold, step back into your downward dog. Come forward into plank, either holding plank or lower the knees. Coming down to the ground, either going down to the ground in Sphinx, forearms on the ground, or following me in upward dog. So raise the toes, elbows brush the ribs, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold, step back. Come into plank. Lower the knees. Into upward dog, raise the toes. Inhale, elbows brush the ribs. Up into upward dog. Exhale, back. Downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. This time working with the breath. You only need to do a couple of these to warm up in the mornings. So, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold, step back. Lower. Into upward dog, inhale. Exhale, back. Downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart with the closing hands. Come back into your breath. Come back into your body. Feel the ground beneath you. Coming into Sun Salutation B. So for this one, we want to make sure that our thighs are squeezing together. And what we're going to do is we're going to start in chair pose. We're going to sweep down and bring the hands up alongside the body. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. I want to make sure that my tailbone isn't tipping up. So it's just slightly tucked under to create that nice neutral spine. I can either raise my arms, or if that's too strong, I can bring my hands to my heart. I also want to make sure that I'm not leaning forward on my toes. I've got my weight back on my heels so I can lift my toes. So just lift your toes, make sure that your weight is back on your heels. And you're sitting back, almost like you're sitting back in a chair. So really, the butt's sticking backwards. So yeah, chair pose. So from here, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold, step back into downward dog. Come forward into plank, lower the knees, into upward dog, raise the toes, elbows, brush the ribs, inhale into upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. This is where it changes. Raise your right leg. Make sure to keep the hips square so that the leg's not opening up to the side or opening up too high. Bring the knee towards the chest, pull the belly towards the spine. Bring the weight forward and see if you can bring that foot between the hands. If you need to pick it up, that's perfectly okay. Pivot your back foot so it comes to a 45-degree angle, and we're coming into a warrior one. So I'm rotating my hips towards the front. I've got a 90-degree angle in my front leg and my back foot is at 45. I feel like I'm stretching the mat with my legs. And then I cartwheel both hands down. I raise that front foot up, I bring it down, and I come through a flow, which means to come forward into plank, lower the knees, raise the toes, elbows brush the ribs, inhale, upward dog, exhale, back, downward dog, hold here, raise the left leg. Remember not to raise it too high or out to the side, so keeping the hips square, draw the toes towards you. Bring the knee towards the chest, pull the belly towards the spine, arch your back like a cat. Bring the leg forward, and then see if you can bring that foot in between the hands. You can pick it up to drag it forward. Coming up into warrior one. Pivot the back foot to 45 degrees. Front knee is at 90 degrees. We're rotating our hips towards the front. Arms either up or to the heart. Whatever feels good on your shoulders. Feel like you're stretching the mat with your legs. So activating the legs. Cartwheel both hands down. Raise that front foot up. Bring it down. Come through your flow. So plank, lower the knees, raise the toes. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. So that's a Surya Namaskar B. We're going to start that to get into our warrior series. So it's a really nice way to allow the body to link the poses together. We always want to be thinking about how can we stop moving, how can we just flow through the poses. That's kind of how we move in nature. We don't just stop, start like robots unless we're dancing. That's different. That's totally cool to do a robot. But finding that way to link poses is really, really nice, and it just feels really, really good for the body. So we're going to start at the top of the mat into our warrior series. Starting with our thighs touching, squeeze the thighs together. And we're going to come into our chair. So sweep the hands down and sitting back in your chair. Make sure you can raise the front toes. And from here, you're going to forward fold, and then bring the hands behind you, clasp the hands behind you, and open up through the shoulders. Feel that nice stretch. Draw the shoulder blades down the back of the body. And bring the hands down. Inhale, half lift, look up, shoulder blades back. Exhale, forward fold. Step the feet back into your plank. Lower down to the ground, knees down, elbows brush the ribs, inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Raise the right leg, bring the knee towards the chest, pull the belly towards the spine. Set that foot in between the hands, warrior one. Back foot 45, front knee at 90 degrees. Squaring the hips towards the front if you can. Open the hands out, warrior two. Back foot goes to 90 degrees, front knee is at 90 degrees, hands out to the sides. Look directly over the middle finger. Lean forward. Flip that front palm and then raise it up as you lower your back hand onto your thigh, coming into exalted warrior. Make sure to keep this bend in the front knee and feeling that stretch through the side of the ribs. Come back into warrior two. Bring the front elbow onto the front knee. And either bring your left hand onto your hip, begin to open up that top shoulder. If it feels good for you, you can bring that left hand along the side of the ear, creating one straight line from the little toe to the little fingers, side angle. You can also rotate that hand behind you and go into a half bind, which is where you're reaching for the top thigh. You want to make sure you keep a nice bend in this front knee, but also not collapsing down onto this front leg, so keeping strength through the core. Wherever you are, come back into Warrior Two. Look through those fingers. Feel that strength in the legs. And then cartwheeling down towards the ground. Raise the front foot up. And either here, lowering down and holding in downward dog, or if you have the strength and the energy, you can come forward, lower the knees, raise the toes, inhale into upward dog, exhale back into downward dog. So you always have a choice. If you feel like I don't have the energy to do any more flows, that's perfectly okay. You can rest in downward dog. You can also rest in child. Remember, this is your yoga. So from here, we're going to go on the other side. So raising the left leg, bring the knee towards the chest, step the foot in between the hands, coming up into Warrior One. Opening out, Warrior Two. Lean forward with that front palm, Exalted Warrior. So feeling that nice stretch through the top of the body. Back hand goes down, back the thigh, back down the thigh. Come back into Warrior Two. Look out through the middle finger. Bring your front elbow onto your front knee and open up, side angle. Remember, you can keep your hand on your hip if there's any discomfort in your shoulder. Come back into Warrior Two. Cartwheel both hands down. Raise that front foot up. Bring it down in downward dog. And either hold it downward dog, rest in child, or go for a flow through. Whatever feels good for you. Everyone coming back into downward dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart, gently closing the eyes. So we're going to do that one more time and just add a little bit more to that. So starting with your feet, thighs touching, squeeze the thighs together, coming into your chakras. Sweep the hands down, coming up, sit back in your chair. Make sure you can raise those front toes. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift, look up. Exhale, fold. Step back into plank. Go for your flow. Lower down. Elbows brush the roots. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back. Downward dog. Raise the right leg. Bring the knee towards his chest. Pull the belly towards the spine. Step the foot in between the hands. Coming up, Warrior One. Open out, Warrior Two. Back foot goes to 45. Front knee, back foot to 90 degrees, so front knee 90 degrees. Flip that front palm, lean forward, Exalted Warrior. Back hand onto the back thigh, feel that stretch through the front. Come back, Warrior Two. Front elbow onto the front knee, open up, side angle. One straight line. Circle the hand down and around, warrior two. This is where it changes. Pivot on the back foot. See if you can bring that back knee down to the ground without putting your hands down. It's perfectly okay if you do need to. And uncurl that back down. And you're going to raise your left arm up. Your right arm will follow, coming into an exalted on the ground. Make sure you're not just collapsing into this front thigh. So you're pulling your tailbone slightly down so that you're not just collapsing down. And then cartwheel both hands down. Raise that front foot up. Place it down in downward dog. Option to hold in downward dog, hold in child, or go for a flow. Whatever feels good for you. Everyone meet in downward dog. And this time raise the left leg. Bring the knee towards the chest, pull the belly towards the spine, step that foot in between the hands. Coming up, warrior one. Open out, warrior two. Back foot 90 degrees, front knee 90 degrees. Flip that front palm, lean forward. Exalted warrior. Feel that stretch through the sides of the ribs. Come back, warrior two. Look out through the middle fingers. Front elbow onto front knee, side angle. One long line between the little fingers and little toes. Circle that hand down, warrior two. Pivot on the back foot. See if you can lower that knee down towards the ground and then uncurl that back toe. Slightly tap your tailbone in here and then see if you do a nice circular motion, raising the right arm up, the left arm follows, right arm goes down, back of the thigh, left arm up. You can look up if your balance is good or look straight ahead. Feel that nice stretch. Cartwheel the hands down, raise that front foot up, place it down in downward dog, and either hold in downward dog, go for a flow, or rest in child. For child, bring your big toes to touch, knees out wide and sit back on your heels. So everyone coming back into downward dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, pull the belly towards the spine. Inhale, look towards the front as you step towards the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Gently closing your eyes. So becoming aware of your feet on the mat. You just notice if you can feel if they're hip width apart. You may need to peek, have a quick look and see. And then just notice where the weight is on your feet. Are you leaning more towards the front of the toes? Are you rocking back on the heels? Perhaps rock forwards and backwards a little, just to find your centre of balance. You might even want to rock to the sides a little, just feeling the bottom of your feet. And then once you find that point of balance, rest. Next, notice your knees. Are your knees locked? When you lock your knees, what this does is it puts a lot of strain on the lower back. It tips the butt up pretty much. So when you slightly bend the knees, it's going to just allow the lower back to relax. So the muscles will relax. And it's much, much better for your body. You don't want to keep anything locked long term. We have all these habits that are really habitual. I repeat my words. You know what I mean. Yeah, we have these habits that are quite subconscious. So it's really, really good to notice them. It's like, oh yeah, I lock my knees all the time and my legs feel tired. So maybe even if you just notice, I'm just going to unlock my knees while I'm doing the dishes or brushing my teeth or standing in line, it will help slowly, slowly become a new habit for you. Because the way to undo old habits is to replace them with something new. So you notice that you go, I'm locking my knees. Okay, I'm just going to give them a slight bend, notice how that feels, and then go about my day. And then you're like, 10 minutes later, I'm locking my knees. Same thing. So really, it's about just noticing and saying, okay, I want to change this little thing about myself. Making that slight change, going about your day, and not beating yourself up about doing it for the 50th time that day. Like there's no competition, there's no race when you're trying to change old habits. So, bounce in the knees. From here, you're going to just roll the shoulders up and back. Release the hands out. Just imagine you've got slight energy through the fingertips, so the fingers are slightly active. Create length along the neck, so you're drawing the head up, imagining you've got a piece of string holding up the top of the head, just slightly tuck the chin down. Gently close the eyes. Tadasana. Gently opening the eyes. So we're just going to go into one pose before we go into our balancing, because this is going to help open up our hips, because I want to bring you into tree pose. So we're going to go into a squat. Now for some people they're like, oh my god, that's too much for me. You can always bring a block or something behind your heels to help raise your heels off the ground. But obviously listen to your body and what feels good for you. So making sure your feet are hip width apart. And remember how we sat back in a chair, in chair pose, it's the same thing. So when you're squatting, you want to sit back and you lean your front body forward. And then you go as far as comfortable for you and you're like, yeah, that's my limit. I can lift my heels off the ground. And you might feel comfortable there. You might feel like you want a bit more balance. So you can place a block underneath to help with balance. Or you might just feel comfortable there. So we're feeling a nice opening through the thighs. If you want, place your elbows between your knees and place your hands to your heart. Push your elbows against your knees and this will help with your balance. And then you can try closing your eyes. And gently placing your hands on the ground. We're going to come into a forward fold. So make sure that your feet are wide. Just pivot your heels away and allow them to rest on the ground. So your feet are as wide as the mat and then forward fold. Keep the knees bent here. It's a nice deep bend. Almost bringing our chest down onto our legs, our thighs. You can begin to straighten up if you want, but it's nice just to hold. And then keep your knees bent, push your feet into the earth, gently roll up through the body, one vertebra at a time. Hands to the heart, getting ready for our balance. coming into tree pose, one of my favourites. It's really nice to go back to the basics, because if you can balance in tree pose, it's going to help you with all the other balances. So for this, we want to make sure we open the hip out first. So bring your weight onto your left leg and bring your right foot out to the side. So you're just coming up onto that toe, and I'm opening that hip out. Now for some people, they might be, I don't feel like balancing today, this might be as far as they want to go, and they could just bring that foot just to touch the inside of that leg, and even that's a bit of a balance because you're not as stable as when you are at 2 feet, creating that distance on the ground. So if this is your tree, this is perfect. If you want to go a bit further, you can bring your right foot onto the inside of the left leg. Now notice I'm not on my knee. I don't want to go on my knee because if I begin to fall and push on my knee, I can really, really hurt myself. So your option is to be on the ground, to be on the inside of the lower leg, or if you want, and you feel warm enough today, you can bring that foot to the top of the thigh, and depending what clothes you're wearing, I'm too slippery today for that one, you can hold. So wherever you are, remember to open that knee out towards the back. Smile. Hands to the heart. And then begin to rise the hands up. Open the hands out. Just circling the wrists, wiggling the fingers, almost imagining you're a bit of a tree in the wings. So feeling that nice movement through the body. You begin to sway. It's perfectly okay. Find your balance. Come back to the center. Hands draw down through the middle. You can challenge yourself by closing your eyes. And then gently release. And then kick your legs out. Tree's hard work on the legs. Now, all balances are hard. You're asking one leg to do the work of 2 legs, so it's challenging. So preparing on your other leg. So make sure you feel really strong and secure. So bring your right leg down to the earth. Feel that real strength in that leg. And then open out the left leg. So raising the heel up. So I want to make sure I'm opening that hip out towards the side. And this might be as far as I want to go. Just bringing my foot in towards the other leg. So just holding here is fine. If I want to go further, I can bring my foot onto the inside of the lower leg. And if I want to go further, I can bring my foot onto the inside of my thigh. So the trick for this is to really draw that knee back to open up the hip. And also clothing that doesn't slip too much. Wherever you are, hands to the heart, smile, find your balance. Wherever you are, if you fall out, perfectly okay, just come back in. And then raising the hands up, opening out to the side, and circling the wrists, wiggling the fingers. Hands back up to the center, down through the middle, closing the eyes, and then bring the feet down, and then kicking them out, giving them a good shake. And we're going to make our way down to the ground. So make your way to the top of the mat, inhale, arms rise, exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, look up, exhale, fold, step back into downward dog. And then coming down to the ground. So bring one foot forward, cross the leg, other foot forward, and as gracefully as you can, sitting down. We're coming into a half forward fold. So extend your right leg, bring your left knee, bend your left knee. Now you can bend your right leg and you can also grab a strap for this move. We're going to inhale and exhale, fold. And draw the hands along the ground, raise them up, inhale, exhale, fold. Draw the hands along the ground, raise them up through the body, inhale, and then exhale, fold. and hold. Release the hands, and then just switching over legs. So extending the left leg long, the right knee short. You can bend this left leg if you want. You can grab a strap. You can even have your right foot underneath your left leg. Whatever feels good for you. And each time you do folds or yoga, it's going to feel different. So just listen to your body today. So starting with our hands and our feet, we're going to do 3 rolls. So draw the hands along the ground, up through the body, and then forward fold. Along the ground, up through, and fold. One roll along the ground, up, and then forward fold, chest towards the toes. Draw the toes towards you, and then rest your hands wherever they rest. Relaxing your head and neck. Walking the hands back. Extend both legs out in front. Give them a bit of a wriggle. We're going to do the same thing, so 3 rolls. So draw your hands towards your toes. You can have your knees bent here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fall. Inhale, draw along the ground, rise up. Exhale, fall. One more. Draw along the ground, rise up. Exhale, fall. Chest towards the toes. Draw the toes towards you. Relax the head and look. Make sure you're at the top of your mat. We're just going to make our way gently down towards the ground. We're just making our way slowly down towards the ground. You can draw your belly towards the spine, working one vertebra at a time. And when you're there, stretching your arms behind you, stretching your legs out long, through your side, or yawn, depending on how you feel. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, release. One more stretch. And release. We're just going to come into a gentle twist to finish. So you might have your favourite twist, and that's perfectly okay. If everyone wants to follow me, I'm just going to bring my feet out as wide as the mat. Arms out to the sides. And I'm just gently windscreen wipering my knees from one side to the other. Just gently rocking them from one side. And then I find a side, I rest on that side. And then the other side. If you're in your other twist, just switching over to your other side. And draw the knees to the center. Draw them in towards the chest. Give them a bit of a squeeze. Circle the knees in one direction. Circle the knees in the other direction. Getting ready for Shabasana. If you feel cool, grabbing a blanket or a shawl. Or if not, you can just rest, releasing one leg out to the side, and the other leg out to the side. Feeling yourself sinking into the earth. Becoming aware of your breath. becoming aware of the sound of my voice. Anything you can hear, anything you can smell, anything you can sense. Gently wriggling the fingers and the toes, allowing movement and sensation to slowly come back into the body. Taking breaths into the belly, circling the ankles and the wrists, stretching arms overhead. When you're ready, rolling over onto your right hand side. And slowly pushing yourself up to a seated position. Either placing your hands on your knees or bringing your hands to your heart. Just noticing how you feel. Notice if there's a little less tension in the body. If you're a little more aware of your breath. More aware of the ground you're seated on. I invite you to think of someone that you wish to send a little love to. Someone who may be having a hard time. Maybe an animal that you know is struggling. So whoever is close to your heart, you're welcome to send some love to them. So we're going to do 3 Oms to finish. You're welcome to keep this person or this animal in your mind's eye as you say your Oms. Inhale to begin. Gently bowing your head. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings have happiness and the causes for happiness. Thank you for joining me for this beautiful practice of yoga. Thank you to all my teachers before me.